don't come here. One of the smaller tracts of the York Regional Forest. This is the Metro Road tract, which of course is in Georgina. Kind of cute, it doesn't tell you how long it is. Anyway, I want to get away from the road I'm behind, the Metro Road, because it's quite busy. But as you can see, the 250 metres sign at the bottom, so it's maybe about a 1 kilometre one way. Then of course I have to walk home. There are two ways you can go by, but in the long run, it's still time to change the road you're on. That'll be cut if I have to pay money to Led Zeppelin. So I'm going to take the right fork. This way or this way? The map suggests this way. That looks fun. Well, other than getting some bug bites and seeing impenetrable forest, the fun way was kind of tailing off here. I think I'll go back to the main way. One of the main comments you get in reviews of the Metro tract is that it has terrible signage. I haven't seen any. And it's very wet and muddy most of the year. This being the middle of August is dry. Though I have to admit I can see where that comes from. That was recently be wet. And pretty much everything else around here has been bone dry for weeks. Is that a trail marking? Let's hope it is. Onwards, young Huples, onwards. This is interesting. Do I whack through there? I don't think so. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I haven't got long sleeves on, and this is lime country. I will go back to where it bifurcated. Definitely the main trail where it splits, and what I'm assuming is that people aren't using this, so it's just overgrown. But Kitty dropped me off here principally to get rid of me for a while. Principally to see if I can take Wolfie in his new chariot here. And for this part of the trail, absolutely. Happy with it, for him, but we shall see what the rest of the trail is like. So I've come back from there, and I'm going to go this way. I've actually come, as far as I can tell, all the way back to there. It's better to do that than to blind trail yourself when you don't know where you are. This whole tract is 84 hectares, which is like 120 acres. It's not that big. I clearly hear the road, so I'm not that worried. I have a ton of water. But you have to take advantage of the fact that we're smart and we have memory. But our memory can be faulty, and if you just plunge on, you tend to start going in circles, and you get confused, and you hear the road from a different direction, and even the sun's not a good guide. If you have a map, follow the map. If you can't, go back and figure out why you can't follow the map. Only in a desperate situation would you ignore this and carry on the way I was going, because I couldn't see any trail. Well, there we go. As far as I figure it out, I'm right there where my thumbnail is. So this is certainly narrower than the path on the right side, but the path on the right side just dead-ended as far as I could tell. So we shall see what this one does, but it's actually widening out. Well, this is certainly a trail where you see a lot of dead wood everywhere, a lot of bugs, and like I say, it is very moist compared to anywhere else I've been. Pretty much all the reviews say stay away from here. It's badly marked and it's got very, very wet most of the year. Now being hit by a lot of these sticks across the trail, which also means this would be no good for Wolfie's chariot. Well, there's a lot of mosquitoes here compared to everywhere else in this area, and now this is now widening out. But this is not a trail that I can recommend. Don't get me wrong, I like wild trails and I've been very used to them. If anybody watches this channel will know. But this is not really a wild trail, it's a very urban trail where it is, and very little care and attention's been done to it. When you have marked trails like this, the whole way should be like that. This is neither difficult nor hard. Frankly, it's boring. It's not really impressing me. I'm not getting any vistas. I'm not getting any sense of isolation. I'm not getting any sense of communing with the spirit of the forest, whatever's left of that spirit. Yeah, I hate to say it, but Metro Trail, Georgina, Ontario, is a must avoid. This is lime country, and this is kind of why I was very unhappy at going through stuff like this. And this is why, almost at the end of this walk, I'm abandoning it and going back. Truth of the matter is, if I get to the end of this, which wouldn't be that far, I'm probably going to take a road back. I really don't like this forest at all, nor do I like this trail. Probably looks pretty on the camera, and it certainly should be pretty. But boy, they need to do a bit of trail maintenance on this. Those two trails should have connected, should have been clear, and the markings should be clear all the way along. Just have no markings, badly maintained trail that just disappears, like that's the trail. It's not okay, York Regional Forest. It isn't. I'm on trail on a York Regional Forest trail. I shouldn't have any problems at all with lime touching my arms or getting lost. Anyway, I'm going to walk back. I mean, I'd love to actually get out of here. I could go back on the road, but I'm going to stagger back through this stuff. And then I'm going to take a walk along the lake, and the lake is very pretty. So I'm walking back and I'm enjoying the dogs barking hysterically in the road noise. But just to be clear, this is the middle of August. There's a drought going on. There's nowhere else I've encountered anywhere in this area that has this amount of moist soil. This must be absolutely awful in normal rain and in the spring. And I'm on here, and I have not seen this at all. All I'm going to follow is this track here, because this track doesn't appear to exist. So in no particular order, why I think you should avoid the Metro Track Trail in Georgina, Ontario. Number 1, doesn't go anywhere. Number 2, there's no trail marks. Number 3, the trail map's inaccurate. Number 4, I have literally been on mountain bike trails that are much, much better than this. This is Lyme country, Lyme disease. on both side trails, or whatever I think the side trails are, you're being forced in August to walk into deep brush. This is York Regional Trails, and every York Regional Trail I've ever been on has been really good. Very well worth travelling to. This one is the exception. Don't come here. Go to Pefflau. Pefflau Track Trails, excellent. Yeah, there's also like almost no views, there's no vistas, there's no pools, there's nothing. But there is things you can actually admire and look at, like that erratic, kind of on its own, on a sea of nothing. See, to me, this is what York Regional Forests are usually like, and I've pretty much walked them all now. Metro Track Trail, honestly, it's just awful. Don't come, there's no point. You're not going to be able to walk very far, you're not going to be able to walk very safely, you're not going to be able to see anything worth seeing. It doesn't even go up or down, it's pretty flat. Certainly not quiet and reflective. It's just sad. You get a real strong sense in here that this is a tiny fragment of what was, and that this fragment's dying. And there's a fair amount of litter in it as well. Nobody cares for this forest, you can tell. Very different from the other York Regional Forests though, very different. They're actually well looked after, people are there. Really strange to me why they even bother to pretend to have a trail tract here, just call it Regional Forest and just not have a trail. So that's Metro Road. As you can see, it's pretty straight, and that's the entrance into the Metro tracks if you want to get into it. Don't. Not so hot today, but I am sweating. It's very sunny. Always have a hat. And I finally see the lake, so that's where I'm going. So the people on Fairbank Avenue who paid money can join this, and they can use this tiny piece of the beach. Really small. Homeowners adjacent to the road get a piece of land and they can seal it off and they can stop anybody else going into it. And it's like this for a large area of this lake, and the lake of course is Lake Simcoe. It's one of the bigger lakes, not a great lake, but it's big. So there's all of these docks, every home has its own dock. Another homeowner's dock. In the rare moments there's no cars, it's beautiful. Now, a fair number of these houses are now year round, but also a fair number of them are not. They are literally just cottages. People have the money and the wealth from family or from businesses and buy a property up here and use it for 3 or 4 weeks of the year. The Airbnb cost for one of these is around about 3,000 Canadian a week. One of the few original properties left. Right next to it, a tear down and rebuild. Not my style. All of these lots are very, very small. But that one does actually have a fairly decent view. Most of them don't even have a view of the lake that's not really occluded. Now, as awful as I find this, it's nice people have somewhere to go. And there's the geese getting ready to fly south. Yeah, we've seen bunches of Canadian geese gathering, and it's only about the 14th, 15th of August, so that would imply a cold and early winter. Well, this is Willow Beach Park. People come here, have a fun time. Alright, enough of me rambling on. We're now actually going to head into a lagoon area. Always reminds me of Florida, this type of an area. Really nice. Bear in mind, this will freeze solid, as does that. Still in all, it's definitely one of the prettiest neighbourhoods. The island side is really cool because there's hardly any houses on it. This is one of the few sections where housing actually is right on the beach area. They don't have much land, but I'm pretty sure these houses are pretty pricey. Some of the original properties here, there's not many left, but they're just gorgeous. Well, I'm getting close to my destination, so I'll sign off now. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great week. Toodles! This has been a Wolfie Terrier production 2022 from the Lake Simcoe Studios.